This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 5, beginning at verse 8. There should be a confusion also in many places. Salakia. I'm going to start up. This is Second Ezra, chapter 5, beginning at verse 1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. Verse 2, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. Skipping to verse 8, there shall be a confusion also in many places, and a fire, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and minstrels women shall bring forth monsters. And when it goes and bringing forth monsters, the correct breakdown is bringing forth children that are literally like abominable, deformed children with cleft lips, and Siamese twins, etc., etc. And that's the spirit, because I recently just saw a picture of the head of our camp doing a group chat where it was two siblings that was born to this, basically joined to the same body. They had they like their heads were fused, but they had like two separate bodies. It says, verse 9, and salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber. Verse 10, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found, because people gonna want answers. Right now, because you have that spirit of mirth still in the air, because you got summertime, and you got multiple distractions. But when you, with all these distractions, it comes a lot of death and crime as well. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied on the earth. And when you go into that word incontinency, it basically goes into lawlessness. And I got another scripture. Book of Matthew, chapter 24. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Skipping to verse 12, and because iniquity, meaning the sin, sin upon sin, shall abound, meaning increase, the love of many shall wax cold. I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Salakia, Ba'ashem, double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwath and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad, and the land of other nations appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you I say shalom. It's the brother Yahweh Sap out of the GMS Cleveland Church and fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And basically, seeking a lesson. I had some lessons saved, articles to my news break on my other phone. I upgraded my phone through the spirit, power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I was able to bless, because, out of the blue, all these different bills came out of nowhere. But through the spirit, a brother was able to bless me, and I was able to get an upgrade on the phone, which is a lot better. Hopefully this is the last phone I'll need for the kingdom, But not to digress. So I saw this article, if you're not familiar with, basically it was like a massive shooting, and, just a sign of the times. You got a lot of Edomites getting violent, and violence increasing, and that's how we almost in that time of Esau Edom about to come down with great wrath. It talks about him coming down with great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. That's the spirit, because a lot of brothers been going into like the brother Bakar Amath, the elder Yashar Wamba from Dallas, brother Bakar from Men of Valor. You know, they was going into a few brothers went into it. Basically, I guess you know, I guess the UN is making America, along with all these different nations, basically, you know, put it where they're basically they can't basically like they can't like govern their own health crisis, and it's a beautiful way that the Most High allowed it to play out, because you know, you gotta remember, America has been like one of the main countries that has been battling this whole so-called pandemic. And it's funny because just recently I was listening to or watching something. They was talking about North Korea actually got its first confirmed case of the CV recently. You know, remember, North Korea never supposed to have had any kind of nobody was actually supposed to actually came down with a contagion. Now, like I said, they're talking about the UN basically making it where like 128 different nations basically give up their sovereignty. They can't. So it's something major about to happen. But not to digress again, you know, it's just a lot of stuff happening, and through the spirit, feels something major about to happen. And you're about to see a lot of violence, because the violence going to increase because the iniquity, you know, is constantly abounding. You know, so this article is from the Associated Press. It says 10 dead in Buffalo supermarket attack. Police called hate crime. Buffalo, NY. A white 18-year-old wearing military gear and live streaming with a helmet camera opened fire with a rifle at a supermarket in Buffalo, killing 10 people and wounding 3 others Saturday in what authorities described as racially motivated violent extremism. So basically, he targeted Jakes. Police said he shot 11 black and 2 white victims before surrendering to authorities in a rampage he broadcast live on the streaming platform Twitch. Now it's funny. This guy just literally went with assault. And it's funny how these Edomites could. And then when you speak on this shit, you looked at this man literally fucking shot up 11 Jakes and was able to turn himself in. A Jake got shot in the back for walking to his car. Says later he appeared before a judge in a paper medical gown and was arraigned on a murder charge. It is my sincere hope that this individual, this white supremacist who just perpetrated a hate crime on an innocent community, will spend the rest of his days behind bars. Well, actually, he's supposed to be put to death. Well, he cold-bloodedly premeditated murder. And, you know, the scriptures will say an eye for an eye. I mean, you know, when you look at Edom, basically, he tried to, like, include certain things from the scriptures in how he does his, governs his kingdom. But then he also goes from, he doesn't judge based on the scriptures, he judges based on his own, you know, thoughts of men, you know. Then he you know, it's a land of confusion because he also mixes different philosophies and doctrines and whatnot into one huge system. And that's why, you know, this place has no true order, and that's why it'll always be a land of confusion. That's why it's beautiful that the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua is destroying this place before our eyes. You know, it was a slow takedown, you know, slow chatting down of this kingdom, but now a lot of brothers starting to see, we're seeing this thing pick up pace, moving more rapidly. You know, it was talking about how you know, the UN was talking about speeding up that Agenda 2030 sooner, and basically that Agenda 2030 goes into basically these group of nations basically tracking and controlling all resources on the planet, and that's your whole NWO, your whole beast system. It's my, I read that part. And heaven help him in the next world as well, said Governor Kathy Hochul, speaking near the scene of the attack. The massacre sent shockwaves through an unsettled nation gripped with racial tensions. But the scriptures talk about, you know, it's going to be race wars and race violence. And, you know, there's videos floating around on YouTube right now while they constantly flag our videos. And, you know, we get our channel struck and taken down. You got Edomites with videos talking about race wars right now. I'll constantly bring up this video. There's an Edomite. Heard the brothers in LA mention it. I went to search it out. It was an Edomite female talking about how young girls or women peers should, like, basically lay with their animal. promoting bestiality. I did a video about it. They flagged my video. But not flag hers. Yeah, this is a sick country we live in. Well, it's sick because of who's in rulership. It tells you in the book of Ecclesiasticus or the book of Sirach, as the judge of the city is, so are the people. And that's why these people are so depraved. I was listening to Brother Bakura Muffin. He was showing looked like she appeared to be a Jake, but she was completely a heathen. She was looking like something that looked like a dog on TikTok or some social media, and he was like, well, he don't know if it was real or not. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was real. You know, that doesn't really truly surprises you anymore. This place is completely gone and bugged out. The suspected gunman in Saturday's attack on Tops Friendly Market. I didn't even know Tops was around anymore. This Tops hasn't been around in Cleveland for years. Remember, it was Finest, then it became Tops, and now I don't think we have none of that no more. I know we don't have any Finest. It wasn't was identified as Peyton Gendrum of Conklin, New York, about 200 miles southeast of Buffalo. It wasn't immediately clear why Peyton had traveled to Buffalo in that particular grocery store. The clip apparently from his Twitch feed posted on social media showed Gendron arriving at the supermarket in his car. The gunman shot 4 people outside the store, 3 fatally, said Buffalo Police Commissioner Joseph Gramaglia. Inside the store, a security guard who was a retired Buffalo police officer fired multiple shots, but the bullet that hit the gunman's bulletproof vest had no effect. Gramaglia added. The gunman then killed the guard, the commissioner said, then stalked through the store shooting other victims. Yeah. And only this place Babylon that a motherfucker could get away with this and turn itself in. I'm still just shocked on that. Jake gets shot for looking the wrong way or looked like he was going, you know what I mean? Like they make these comedies and sketches about Jake. I remember a sketch that was on the Key and Peele show, and basically it was Key was playing like a Edomite cop, and every time Jake was doing something, but they wasn't really doing that, he'd just get so nervous and was just shooting everybody. He was just shooting all the Jakes, and that's, it was made light of, but that's actually reality. This is the worst nightmare that any community can face, and we are hurting and we are seething right now. Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown said at the news conference, the depth of pain that families are feeling and all of us are feeling right now cannot even be explained. Police entered the store and confronted the gunman in the vegetable. At that point, the suspect put the gun to his own neck. Gramaglia said 2 officers talked him into dropping the gun. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, this was pure evil. It was straight up racially motivated hate crime, but yet still he wasn't punished on the scene. You know how many like I can't even read this anymore. Hate crime going up, crime in general, and because of the fact of the iniquity the Lord is creating. Well, not creating. He's releasing these spirits of vengeance. Of these spirits of judgment. You go into Sirach chapter 39, verse 28. It says.